Looks like that bone picker is living in Branka's old camp. Did you see the marks on the floor? There were a lot of people and fires there once. Those must be Branka's papers he said were taken by the spiders. Nothing that fragile would be left from the Thaig. Branka was thinking about me. I knew she still cared. Old softy. Looks like the dead trenches is our next stop then. They say the darkspawn nest there, whole herds of them. But if that's where Branka went, then that's where I'm going.
Trasvala, Grey Warden. I've never seen one of your kind in the deep roads. In the Legion of the Dead, we abandon our lives to be free of fear, free of hopeful blindness. The coming blight is obvious to us. The surprise is not that you have come, but that you have come in so small a number. What do you want here, Warden? Who put this dull idea in your head? We got other things to worry about in Orzammar. Ah, now I see. The Deep Lords in the Assembly can't make up their minds, so the Pretenders need added influence. I get that right? Warden, you've got your work cut out for you. Paragon Branka is dead, everyone with sense knows it. Past our line, the darkspawn kill everything. I'd gladly lead an assault through the dead trenches, but without an ass in the throne, we have no orders. I won't take fool's gold from a pretender. You want to go digging blind? You go right ahead. We die in the eyes of our brothers so we can fight without fear. It offers redemption for the promise of the greatest sacrifice. That's all you need to know. To say more invites judgment. Or worse, imitation. Like dusters, I've heard of respect. Never seen it. And if it exists, it wasn't meant for me. But if you're looking for paragons, you may as well look for the anvil. And endless lyrium. Let us know if you find any paragons. You're as likely to find a dozen as one. And Warden, watch yourself. Drunks make poor allies.
The Dead Trenches. I remember its name, but nothing else.
We've lost and taken the trenches so many times, even the memories can't track it.
First day they come and catch everyone. Second day, They beat us and eat some for meat. 5th day they return, and it's another girl's turn. 6th day, her screams we hear in our dreams. 7th day, she grew as in her mouth they spew. 8th day, we hated as she is violated. 9th day, she grins and devours her kin. Now she does feast as she's become the beast. What is this? An elf? Exotic and impossible. Feeding time brings only kin and clan. I am cruel to myself. You are a dream of strangers' faces and open doors. First day they come and catch everyone. Corruption. The men did that. Their wounds festered, and their minds left. They are like dogs, marched ahead, the first to die. Not us, not me, not Laren. We are not cut. We are fed. Friends, and flesh, and blood, and bile, and all I could do was wish Laren went first. I wished it upon her so that I would be spared, but I had to watch. I had to see the change. How do you endure that? How did Branka endure? Do not talk of Branka, of what she did. Ancestors preserve us. Forgive me. I was her captain. And I didn't stop her. Her lover, and I could not turn her. Forgive her. But no, she cannot be forgiven. Not for what she did. Not for what she has become. I will not speak of her, of what she did, of what we have become. I will not turn. I will not become what I have seen. Not Laren, not Branka.
What happened here? Branka has to explain this. She has to.
What was done to these people? There's worse to come?
Is it certain we need to be here? This cannot end well.
She became obsessed. That is the word, but it is not strong enough. Blessed stone, there was nothing left in her but the anvil. We tried to escape, but they found us. They took us all. Turned us.
Bunamar. I thought it would have fallen into dust by now.
How long do you think it's been since anyone has walked in these halls?
This is a holy place. Do I remember? I'm not sure.
The men, they kill. They're merciful. But the women, they want to touch, to mold, to change until you are filled with them. They took Laren. They made her eat the others, our friends. She tore off her husband's face and drank his blood. And while she ate, she grew. She swelled and turned gray, and she smelled like them. They remade her in their image. Then she made more of them. Brood mother. hate us. That's why they need us. That's why they take us. That's why they feed us. But the true abomination is not that it occurred, but that it was allowed. Branka, my love. The stone has punished me, dream friend. I am dying of something worse than death. Betrayal.
If Branka is anywhere, this has to be it. She will not be unprepared.
The Anvil of the Void is near. I can feel it.
What was that?
Let me be blunt with you. After all this time, my tolerance for social graces is fairly limited. That doesn't bother you, I hope.
Well, shave my back and call me an elf. Branka? By the stone! I barely recognized you!
Oghren. It figures you'd eventually find your way here. Hopefully you can find your way back more easily. And how shall I address you? Hired sword of the latest lordling to come looking for me? Or just the only one who didn't mind Oghren's ale breath?
Be respectful, woman. You're talking to a Grey Warden.
Ah, so an important errand boy, then. I suppose something serious has happened. Is Endrin dead? That seems most likely. He was on the old and wheezy side. Then what is your involvement in this? Why would a surfacer be interested in dwarven politics? You must have a patron. A highly placed patron. And they must want something in particular. Now, what might that be? I don't care if the Assembly puts a drunken monkey on the throne. Because our protector, our great invention, the thing that once made our armies the envy of the world, is lost to the very darkspawn it should be fighting. The Anvil of the Void. The means by which the ancients forged their army of golems and held off the first archdemon ever to rise. It's here, so close I can taste it. The anvil lies on the other side of a gauntlet of traps designed by Caridin himself. My people and I have given body and soul to unlocking its secrets. This is what's important. This has lasting meaning. If I succeed, the dwarven people benefit. Kings, politics, all that is transitory. I've given up everything and would sacrifice anything to get the Anvil of the Void. Enough questions. If you wish me to get involved with this imbecilic election, I must first have the Anvil. There's only one way out, Warden. Forward. Through Caridin's maze, and out to where the Anvil waits.
What has this place done to you? I remember marrying a girl you could talk to for 1 minute and see her brilliance.
I am your Paragon. I needed people to test Caridin's traps. There's no way to break through except by trial, and I sent them in. They were all mine, pledged to be my house, and they didn't want to help. They tried to leave me, even my Hespeth. But even she couldn't understand that when you reach for greatness, there are sacrifices, as many sacrifices as are needed.
My name is Caridin. Once, longer ago than I care to think, I was a paragon to the dwarves of Orzammar.
Caridin, the Paragon Smith. Alive?
Ah, there is a voice I recognize. Shale of the House of Kadash, step forward.
You know my name. Is it you that forged me then? Is it you that gave me my name?
Have you forgotten then? Ah, it has been so long. I made you into the golem you are now, Shale. But before that you were a dwarf, just as I was. The finest warrior to serve King Valtor, and the only woman to volunteer.
The only woman? A dwarf?
I laid you on the anvil of the void, here in this very room, and put you into the form you now possess.
The anvil of the void. That is what we seek.
If you seek the anvil, then you must care about my story, or be doomed to relive it. Though I made many things in my time, I rose to fame and earned my status based on a single item, the Anvil of the Void. It allowed me to forge a man of steel or stone, as flexible and clever as any soldier. As an army, they were invincible, but I told no one the cost. No mere smith, however skilled, has the power to create life. To make my golems live, I had to take their lives from elsewhere. So said my king. I had only intended to use volunteers, but he was not satisfied, and soon a river of blood flowed out of this place. Finally, it was too much. I refused, and so Valtor had me put on the anvil next. Not revenge. The blow of the hammer opened my eyes. My apprentices knew enough to make me as I am, but not enough to fashion a control rod. I retained my mind. You were amongst the most loyal, Shale. You remained at my side throughout, and at the end, I sent you away out of mercy.
I do not remember.
We have remained entombed here ever since, and I have sought a way to destroy the anvil. Alas, I cannot do it myself. No golem can touch it.
No! The anvil is mine! No one will take it from me!
Shale, you fought to destroy the anvil once. Do not allow it to fall into unthinking hands again!
You speak of things I do not remember. You say we fought. Did you use our control rods to command us to do so?
I destroyed the rods. Perhaps my apprentices eventually learned to replace the rods. I do not know. But if so, then all they need is the anvil to make all the slaves they need. You, please, help me destroy the anvil. Do not let it enslave more souls than it already has.
Don't listen! He's been trapped here for 1,000 years, stewing in his own madness. Help me claim the anvil, and you will have an army like you've never seen!
Branka, you mad, bleeding nugtail! Does this thing mean so much to you that you can't even see what you've lost to get it?
Look around. Is this what our empire should look like? A crumbling tunnel filled with darkspawn spume? The anvil will let us take back our glory!
So it fights with Caradin? Good. That seems right.
Thank you, stranger. Your compassion shames me.
No! You will not take it! Not while I still live!
Branka, don't throw your life away for this. Just give her the blasted thing. She's confused. Maybe once she calms down, we can talk to her.
Bah! You're not the only master smith here, Caradin. Golems, obey me! Attack!
A control rod! But My friend! You must help me! I cannot stop her alone! Another life lost because of my invention. I wish no mention of it had made it into history.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Stupid woman. Always knew the anvil would kill her.
How is it that the woman was not able to disable me as she did you, Caradon?
I do not know. Have you been altered?
I once had a pathetic little mage of a master. He did something to me, experimented on me, and then I killed him, and it rendered me paralyzed.
Perhaps he was bringing forth old memories, and caused you to remember the time when you fought at my side. The paralysis you speak of always resulted when the Master perished. As for your free will, you were always a strong woman, Shell. I am pleased to see you remain such.
I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Do not thank me. All of this is my doing, my legacy. But at least it ends here. I thank you for standing with me, stranger. The anvil waits there for you to shatter it. Is there any boon I can grant you for your aid? A final favor before I am freed from my burden?
Yeah. I don't suppose you can bring Branka back. Maybe make her a golem like you.
I would not do such a thing to her, even if I could.
Somehow I didn't think so. Well, and I don't want anything that would remind me of this. Best it's just done. There is still the matter of the election. I mean, we still need a Paragon to get the Assembly support, right?
For the aid you've given me, I shall put hammer to steel one last time, and give you a crown for the king of your choice. There, it is done. Give it to whom you will. I do not wish to hear their names, nor anything more of them. I have already lived far beyond my time. I have no place here.
But where will you go? You don't mean to...
I do. I live to ensure that the anvil was never used again. Now it never shall be. We all must have an end, Shell. May yours be one of your own choosing. You have my eternal thanks, stranger. A trust in all Tunsha. May you always find your way in the dark.
No. Perhaps it thinks I should. It may have something to do with Caridin's words. If there is some way to make a copy of these runes, I am willing to study them. Perhaps there is something to be gleaned from them, I know not.
Names. Long list of dwarves. Wait, hold on. We honor who have made this sacrifice. Let their names be remembered. Fart me a lullaby. It's a memorial of all the dwarves who became golems. Has to be. If there was some way of getting this back to the Shaper at Norzimar, I bet they'd brown their trousers. And pay good gold for it. Probably both.
Shale of House Kadash. Is that who I once was? I find this difficult to believe. If I was this Shale of House Kadash, as Caridin said, there must be some evidence of my existence remaining. I must find it. There is another way. What Caridin said, it has allowed me to remember one thing. I believe I know where Kadash Thaig is. I do not know why I am, but I am. I will mark the location on its map. If we can journey there soon, I am most curious as to what we will find.
Well, that pretty much beat the sod out of how I imagined it. You ready to head back yet and share the news? I wouldn't be in any hurry to get back to the assembly either.
This is it. Kadash Thaig. These ruins are always overrun by vermin. There may be something noteworthy further in, however. What is this? This I remember. It has dates and names. This is to honor those who volunteered, those who became golems. And there is my name, Shale of House Kadash. Just as Caridin said. I remember now. I remember, Shale. That was me. I will need to think on these things I have learned. Perhaps I will speak to it of them soon. For now, let us carry on as we have.
Lords of the Assembly, I call for order. This argument gets us nowhere.
Then why these delaying tactics? I call for a vote right now. My father has one living child to assume the Idukan throne. Who would deny him that?
Your father made me swear on his deathbed you would not succeed him.
I apologize for the interruption, Lord Steward, but the Grey Warden has returned.
Well, Warden, what news do you bring?
Caridin was trapped in the body of a golem. This Warden granted him the mercy he sought, releasing him and destroying the Anvil of the Void. Before he died, Caridin forged a crown for Orzamar's next king, chosen by the ancestors themselves.
I would like to believe Oghren's word, but it's well known the Grey Warden is Bhelen's hireling.
Silence! This crown is of Paragon make, and bears House Ortan's ancient seal. Tell us, Warden, whom did Caridin choose?
At last, this farce is ended, and I can take my rightful place on my father's throne.
Let the memories find you worthy. First amidst the lords of the houses, the King of Orzammar.
Do you acknowledge me as king?
I cannot defy a paragon. The throne is yours, King Bhelen.
Then as my first act as king, I call for this man's execution. Guards, seize him! I will return to my palace to gather my generals and prepare our forces for the surface. I will see you there, Warden. You have my gratitude for all you have done for me.